The little things in life can make a big difference. It's why Mobility Works has been helping people connect with who and what matters most since 1997. Our clients have unique needs, so we treat each of them as individuals. First of all, we listen. Then, we work together to find the best solution. Last, we custom fit clients with precisely the right wheelchair-accessible solution. Rest assured that our relationship doesn't end there. We stay connected so you remain completely satisfied. With locations across the country featuring the largest selection of accessible vehicles and adaptive solutions, including minivans and full-size vans, SUVs and trucks, wheelchair and scooter lifts, turning and transfer seats, hand controls, wheelchair securement, and docking systems. Call us today to learn more about our selection of accessible vehicles and adaptive solutions.
All right. Welcome everyone to this Thursday afternoon presentation on eye gaze devices. We are thrilled to have 5 different eye gaze companies talk about their device. If you have questions about the specific company, please make sure to comment during their presentation so that we can tell them your question and they're going to be able to answer it immediately after they're done presenting. So first up from EyeGaze Incorporated, we have James Brinton. He's an assistive technology coordinator and speech language pathologist. So I'm going to hand it over to James. All right.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is James Brinton. I'm a speech and language pathologist coming to your screen from our EyeGaze headquarters in Fairfax, Virginia. So I realize that there are many people across Virginia and perhaps other states, as well as other therapists who are joining us on Facebook Live. So thank you to Reagan and Ray and your crew for making this available. Let me share my screen. And my topic today is I will be sharing about the EyeGaze Edge. I am our assistive technology coordinator, and what you see here is the 2020 EyeGaze Edge with our new Encore camera. There will be a lot of information coming at you today from 5 different eye tracking manufacturers. So here are my tips as we get started of things that you'll want to remember and think about as you listen to everybody's presentation. First tip is identify the most important features that you need and that you want. Know that not all eye trackers are the same. There is a significant difference for some people in how a camera's hardware and image processing software will accurately track an individual's eye. So don't think, oh, I've seen one, I've seen them all. Really, try them out. Tip number 3, try different devices to find the best one for you. The great thing about the ALS Association of DC, Maryland, and Virginia is they have in their AT closet a series of devices that you can try and a good support network. Tip number 4, it's really important that you are involved and that you share your impressions with your speech language pathologist. Sarah did a great job earlier today in talking about trying out different systems and sharing your experience. So identifying what's most important to you. As you listen to these presentations, think about some of these things. Some may be very important, others may have never crossed your mind. So for some people, they'll notice one is easier to use than another. Some people are very interested in having quick and accurate access to their social media and the web. Other people are married to their iPhone and have to have access to their iPhone. Some people have a MacBook and they really need to use that. Some people are really concerned about the aesthetic, the outward design of a product. Others are concerned about the size and weight of eye gaze devices. Other people will really need a longer battery life if they're out and about in the community. Some people are really concerned with computing power and need a strong tablet computer to meet their needs. Other people are interested in driving their wheelchair with their eye tracking device. Other people may notice that one device just seems easier and flawless in the setup procedure. Some people are really concerned, as they should be, with high accuracy for everyday tasks, and then also work or computer tasks. And then you'll want to really compare the reliability of the device you're looking at and look to the future. Can this device be used over the next 5 years long-term reliably and with a team that will support you? So we also recommend compare and try before you decide, just as if you were doing your homework to buy a new car, or you were going to the shoe store and trying on different pairs of shoes before purchasing one. And of course, if you're going to buy a home, you ask the hard questions, you go and see different models, and then you make a well-informed decision. EyeGaze Incorporated, we started in 1987 here in Fairfax, Virginia. Pictured our founders, some of our eye tracking pioneers, Dixon and Nancy Cleveland. You can see Nancy, she is a registered nurse. She's been asked to give a TED Talk in 2018. Dixon has spoken in front of Microsoft and Google on the principles of eye tracking. He was the first engineer to put together a full QWERTY keyboard with an eye tracker in the late 80s. And here we have some of our team members. So that's who we are as a company. Now let's talk a little bit about the EyeGaze Edge. When you get the EyeGaze Edge, what does it come with? So first, you get the EyeGaze Edge communication device. It allows you access to the internet, to apps, and to entertainment. It allows you the full range of a computer for your computing and connectivity needs. It allows you access to your phone. Also an emergency alert system, whether that be calling, text, or ringing a bell, and environmental control through various apps. The EyeGaze Edge is accessible to people through a touch screen if you're still using your hands, a mouse and traditional keyboard with your hands, and also eye tracking. The EyeGaze Edge comes with proper mounts and accessories depending on your home situation. It comes in a handsome carrying case. It comes with home delivery, setup, and personalized instruction for you and for your caregivers. It also comes with a warranty that ranges from 1 to 3 years, and it comes with lifetime technical support from our Virginia and headquarters, as well as your local representative. The biggest driving question is what makes the EyeGaze Edge unique from other devices I might see on the market? So I would like to present to you 18 reasons, quick and dirty, to consider the EyeGaze Edge. So hold on, here we go. Reason number 18 to consider the EyeGaze Edge. It arrives on lock, which means there's no pesky fee to pay to get connected to the internet. You simply turn it on, calibrate, and you go. Reason number 17 to consider the EyeGaze Edge. It comes with expert teaching and instruction. As I mentioned, our representatives will give you personalized instructions that is multimodal. So that includes hands-on practice for you, your nurses, your caregiver, and your family. It comes with written instructions, short video modules, and follow-up training as needed. Reason number 16 to consider the EyeGaze Edge. Now this one's really important. Our camera is a fine-tuned instrument. Our camera has been known since the late 80s and early 90s as a low fatigue, extremely high accuracy, medical grade, engineering masterpiece. This is why we encourage that you try it out and you feel the difference between systems. What that means for you is you can be positioned totally at your comfort level in almost any position. You point the camera at your eye or your eyes and you get communicating. The EyeGaze Edge, number 15, is light and slim. It weighs just under 2.5 pounds. It is very easy to position. It comes with a versatile positioning arm, and our camera swings up and down. So you get in your comfortable position, move the screen so you can see it, and then you simply move the camera to point at one eye or both eyes. It comes in a modular design, which means the camera can come off the device. This is for ultimate versatility. And if any part of your EyeGaze Edge goes bad or breaks, remember, no piece of technology is perfect. We can simply overnight you the new part, and you don't have to send in your whole system to us for repair. Number 14, the EyeGaze Edge comes with a non-glare screen. This is very important for people with ALS. Many of you know that energy conservation is a principle that you have to put into everyday life. So the EyeGaze Edge has been designed specifically with feedback from people with ALS since the late 80s to include some of these features. For example, it comes with all dark screens, muted colors. We filter out all blue light waves on all screens to stop the interference in your sleep patterns. These are small features that can make a big difference in your long-term comfort and use for 12 to 16 hours a day using your EyeGaze Edge device. And we're very proud of that. Reason number 13, there is always on-screen feedback. So first, you'll see an on-screen eye image, and you'll also have access to an on-screen pause button. This on-screen eye image is so helpful to get you and your caregiver positioning your EyeGaze Edge device correctly without any guesswork. It allows you to monitor the condition of your eyes and adjust as needed. The on-screen pause button gives you visual feedback to know when you're paused and when your camera is active. Reason number 12, oh so easy Facebook access. I have been in many homes and seen people struggle to use Facebook with their eyes. Our intuitive web browser allows easy access, easy and smooth scrolling to Facebook. You'll notice I put my Facebook page in dark mode because we recommend it just helps you preserve your stamina throughout the day. So it's easy to browse on our web browser. We really invite you to try it out. We have special entry points and access apps for Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, eBay. We have shoppers. People want to keep shopping. Access to Hulu, their TV programs, as well as Amazon Echo and Google Home. Reason number 12, you can use your smartphone. Through the Grid 3 software, you have access to sync your iPhone and Android for calling, SMS text messaging, as well as WhatsApp. You can control your MacBook, so don't give up on the valuable content and pictures that you have either on your MacBook, your Mac, your PC, your Linux system. This is possible through something called the EyeGaze Edge Links. It also allows you access to control your iPad. Now we're getting to some really important, now the top 10. The EyeGaze Edge image processing software and our proprietary camera works with less than perfect eyes. So if you have thick glasses, that's okay. If you had droopy eyelids like is pictured here, that's okay. It works with people who have nystagmus, strabismus. On the screen, it has dry eye indication to get you troubleshooting and using the system as quickly as possible, as well as lens replacement surgery if you've had your cataracts removed. How do we do this? Since 1987, we have captured a vast image library of typical and atypical eyes, and our engineers have tweaked our software to make it available for people with atypical eye conditions. This is the biggest difference with the EyeGaze Edge. It's made in the USA right here in Fairfax, Virginia, and we provide service worldwide in 44 countries is where we're at right now. Number 7, EyeGaze Edge provides powerful computing. If you're someone who is interested in the computer specs and need a strong computer, please check out our specs. It includes a Windows 10 Surface Pro tablet with quick processing speed, higher screen resolution, higher storage options, and quicker Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity. So please check those out if that's important to you. Number 6, it's preferred by writers. 16 books have been written and published using the EyeGaze Edge over the last 34 years. Number 5, it comes preloaded with music by Adele. Why is this? We love Adele. We hope you do too. We want to inspire you to build your music library. Use the loud Bluetooth speaker that can be with you or with the caregiver, and build up your entertainment suite with videos and pictures and music. Number 4, this is really noticeable. This is really important. When you call, we are easy to reach. When you call, we know who you are because we built your device specifically for you. This includes weekdays and weekends, holidays, and emergencies too. And that's correct. We have taken calls on Thanksgiving morning to help out EyeGaze users so they can use their system with their family if something happens to go wrong. We have remote login access. Number three, top three. We are obsessed with your accuracy. We have the Prime and the Encore camera, which you can try on our system, which are both driven by mathematical data collection during our calibration process. Our camera will not give you a headache. It has a minimal light source to, again, not make you fatigued over the day. And it's not surprising and common for us to hear, this is the best eye tracker, the most responsive eye tracker I have ever experienced. Number two, we understand with a deep-seated knowledge eye tracking. That includes eye physiology, eye tracking science, and that has been reflected in our iterations of our camera over the last 34 years. And the number one reason to consider the iGaze Edge, our visual design is backed by research. We've received extensive feedback since the late 80s. We run our original iGaze software as well as the Grid 3 software for all of the versatility and features that come in the Grid 3 software. These small changes and bits of user feedback really improve the user's experience. So in summary, we believe at iGaze Inc. that you are looking for a communication device that meets your specific communication and connectivity needs. One that's backed by a compassionate team of experts that you can reach, people who will teach you and support you on your journey. We've designed the iGaze Edge to add to your comfort, to work with your eyes, to adapt with our software to your changing eye physiology as your body continues to change, so that you preserve your communication and your connection to the world around you. So from Fairfax, we give you our warm greetings, and thank you again, Reagan and Ray, for putting this together. Go ahead and take questions if we have any time now.
Thank you so much, James. That was a great presentation. I'm just going on Facebook right now to see if I have any questions. Mm-hmm. And don't forget, you can use the Q&A. Someone asked on Zoom, is this device available in the Chicago area?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And so is there a specific...
if you would like to reach us, our website is eyegaze.com. The original...
Uh-oh, James, you froze a little on us right then. Can you repeat that again?
Sure. I was just going to say, yes, our website is eyegaze.com, so we do have a Chicago rep that can provide a demo.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. If no more questions.
There's actually another question.
Okay.
Are you doing in-person training now during the pandemic?
It depends on the region where the person is located and the state-by-state guidelines. Most of our regions, we're doing all virtual trainings. Some people are coming into medical facilities where there's strict pre-screening measures, and our rep will go into that facility with full precautions, of course.
Just incorporate it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing any questions on Facebook at this time, but if we get anything that pops up, we will send it your way. Okay?
Great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much, James. All right. And now we are gonna move on to EyeTech Digital Systems. We have Juliet and Mary presenting today. Juliet has been working in the AAC field for nearly a decade with degrees in speech pathology and gerontology from Miami University. She has been serving those with ALS in the Virginia area since 2011. She looks forward to assisting you with communication and computer access needs as your local EyeTech Digital Systems regional consultant. And then Mary has over 30 years in working with individuals with disabilities who have taught her what to ask, look, and advocate for. She began her journey as a mental health therapist, behavioral specialist with autism individuals, writing waiver policies, working with ADA home, DME, van, AT modifications, participating in clinical trials with assistive technology, assistive technology, and ICU's iArt technology, and with AT Robotics Labs. All right, so I'm going to hand it over to you guys.
Great, thank you. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you. My name is Mary DeCohen, and Juliet Schulke and I will be presenting on behalf of EyeTech Digital Systems. We're going to be showing the EyeOn and explaining what our new product is. So thank you for this platform, and also following up with James as far as being able to try different devices and such, because that's very important, and we really support that as well. So EyeTech has been around for 24 years, and our home base is out in Phoenix, Arizona. We started in 1996. We were also one of the first companies to use the USB tracker system that you can insert into your laptops and onto different platforms, which we still use and integrate today with many other products, research, and other technology assistance. Our devices are really enhanced by real-world experiences with individuals across all different types of disabilities. So we do a lot with ALS, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, spinal cord, traumatic brain injury, stroke, Rett, and we're doing a lot of research in the medical field to assist and to work with others in that genre in those different fields. Okay. So our regional consultants, this is us. As far as like where we're laid out, we have about 15 of us. We also have about 25, 30 hardware and software engineers that are based out of Phoenix doing a variety of different things and how we're really aspecting things of that nature. And, you know, we're pretty much versatile and working with a lot of different things. We are also going out into working with evaluations with SLPs, either virtually via Zoom, or we are also going into people's homes that if they will allow us to come in during the COVID epidemic, we can also come in, we can also set up and do things. We are also doing loaners. We are also being very versatile as far as how we can help our end users in the beginning stages and the latter stages as well. Okay, next. So one of the things that we've really developed in really figuring out of like how we can reduce abandonment of devices is also to set up our Success Coach program. In addition to our tech support, our funding support, and also our sales support and the individuals that we serve in the field, we also have a Success Coach program, that we are helping and assisting whenever the needs are coming in as far as any troubleshooting issues. Anyone can use this service, as, you know, the end user, the caregivers, teachers, SLPs, OT, PT, anyone who is using our device can also call in and do a lot of different things. We are really focused on making sure your device works, it works properly. We are reaching out to you. We're also working in combination with you. So this is in addition to any of our tech people, our you know, connecting with us through our 800 number and also on the website and also through our sales support too. And we are basically open, you know, basically a 24/7 situation as well. Next. So here's an example of one of our users in Texas. He's actually in pre-stages of ALS, but he's also going to MBA school, and he's doing a lot with his EyeOn here to speak, call, make connects, basically a lot of environmental controls that come with our device as well, because it's important that people have control. One of the cool things as far as since schools are going virtual, that our device is also adaptable for those to attend and have their classes on their EyeOn and participate in schools virtually as well. So environmental controls and being independent still and being able to control the device is very important to us, and making sure the features work as well. Juliet?
Hey everyone, so I'm going to talk about calibrating your eye gaze device. I'm sorry, my camera isn't working, so you can't see me, but that's okay. The PowerPoint I think is the most important. So we have something special with our EyeOn Elite device, and that is a better customer experience when it comes to calibrating your eye gaze system. To calibrate your eye gaze system is essentially to tailor the eye gaze system to your specific eyes to make you that much more accurate on your EyeOn Elite device. So we have something called user-driven calibration, where instead of following a target as it moves across the screen and going in order, which we have a non-sequential order calibration. So if your eyes have difficulty moving left to right, or it's just hard to track something that's moving across the screen so quickly, we actually put the targets up on the screen and you can look at them in the order in which you want to do. So there are actually some users who really struggle to calibrate on a normal calibration, and so user-driven is so much more important to them, really allowing them to tailor the device for themselves. It's forgiving, it's easy to calibrate, it makes them more accurate as well with the eye gaze device. It requires very minimal setup. Once you've calibrated on our EyeOn Elite device, you only have to calibrate once. We also have artificial intelligence built into user-driven calibration for precise calibration and a more streamlined user experience. Our eye gaze developers say that when a person does user-driven calibration, it allows for a 30% more accurate calibration, and that just means you're a 30% more accurate eye gaze user, which is really great. It's less fatigue on your eyes. It's allowing you to be more accurate and do more things with your eyes and just use your device longer throughout the day and with less frustration. And we always want to see this great job you've successfully calibrated. And that's one of the things that we are here to just make sure that you are a successful end user, whether it's the reps who go to your house in person to set up your device, whether it's our success coaches online. We are here to help and make sure that you are successful with your device and that it is tailored to your wants and needs. So if you go to YouTube and you search EyeOn Elite or EyeTech Digital Systems, you're going to see a lot of videos of our end users. We are here to give a voice to the voiceless. You can see our users using their devices to control robotic arms for eating out at restaurants. You can see them using their devices as they go back to college or run businesses. Our founder actually created eye gaze because he himself is an eye gaze user. So I'm going to go into the EyeOn Elite specs. So it is a 14-inch screen for the EyeOn Elite. We think that is the optimal screen size for your eyes. Everything is big enough to see, and also you can have multiple screens open at a time, really just for that optimal eye gaze performance and accuracy. It is a Windows 10 computer, so whatever programs that you like to use on Windows 10, you can download onto the device. It is an Intel Core i5 processor. The really cool thing about our device, again, because our founder Rob uses eye gaze day in and day out, and he was the one who developed our eye gaze in 1994, it was really important to him, and it is really important to him, that our device is not slowed down by eye gaze, and the eye gaze is not slowed down by the device. So we actually have two processors within each device, one in the eye gaze and one in the actual computer part of the device. So they both run really optimally, allowing for a lot of power users. That's why a lot of our users that you're going to see on YouTube just use their devices for so many other things besides just communication, for running their business, for being like Ruben, who's getting his MBA with his device. They just really use it for so much more. You have multiple USB ports and HDMI port. We have a hardened screen protector and protection on the device. We have a drop guard on the device so it can survive multiple drops, and to just make it that much more durable. You know, a device that is broken is not helpful to anyone, and we always want to make sure that your device does not have to go in for repair, even for accidents where you're taking it off a mount and it gets dropped. We definitely want it to survive and not be injured in that fall. So we have really developed a really robust device to protect it. Also for battery life, we have 10 hours with eye gaze. So really allowing you to make it really throughout, you know, if you're going to college, a long day at school, or just if you're out and about at an ALS clinic, sometimes it can be a long drive there and a long drive home and a long day for you. So we want you to be able to survive on battery life. Our device is extremely thin. It's less than an inch. It's 0.7 inches. It's extremely lightweight. It's 7.5 pounds. That's with that 10-hour battery life. As you can see from the pictures, it's kind of an all-in-one system. We have infrared controls and Z-Wave controls, so you can control your TV, your lights, fans, different things in your world. I love that there's so much technology just at Home Depot and Lowe's that we can really help you control your environment. And that's one of the things that we as reps and success coaches will help make sure that you are able to control your environment and you have access to that additional technology. Again, you have multiple USB ports. We also have switches. It is a touchscreen device as well as eye gaze. We have extremely loud speakers, which is important. You want people to be able to hear you when you're talking to them, as well as if you hit the call button, you want people to hear the alarm going off from the other room. We are FDA registered and PDAC coded, so we can take these devices through insurance. We use the Grid 3 software, so again, giving you accessibility, allowing you to navigate the internet, getting on Facebook, YouTube. You can connect this device to your iPhone and your Android, so you can call and text. And again, those environmental controls. There's a couple of page sets that I think are fun to show you. We have the Fast Talker page set. It looks very app-based. You have your keyboard as well as all your apps on one screen. We have a program called Text Talker. That's where you have, in addition to word prediction, you have phrase prediction. It's really quick phrases. You've got your message banking, as well as AlphaCore. So all these programs come on the device that you can make the choice when it comes in, and that's one of the things that we can help tailor for you. With AlphaCore, I know this is really popular too because there's a lot of keyboard options. You have QWERTY, ABC, there's a switch scanning keyboard. It also still has the built-in apps, topic pages, so there is an extreme amount of word and phrase prediction within AlphaCore. And again, all of them come on the device. So it's not like you're having to make this choice ahead of time, and you can also switch between the different page sets.
So how to get your EyeOn Elite. So basically, all of our devices need to go through a assessment and evaluation period, and the speech therapist will then, and the end users and the families will consider different devices as far as like what's apparent and what's important to the individual. They'll recommend the different types of accessories, the mounts, what kind of wheelchair that you have, and making sure everything is properly adjusted for your end using use. We also need a prescription from the doctor to recommend the system. And also with the patient, as far as the basic funding packet forms, client information forms, assignment of benefits, and just basically copies of information on the insurance cards, making sure we have the correct information so we can bill insurance. And also EyeTech Digital Systems will help process and assist with the funding aspects. We will ship, and then we'll coordinate the time with our office for our reps to physically come out and to assemble and make sure that everything is working and we have the right pieces for your wheelchair and for making sure that everything is working. At that time, we'll also introduce our success coaches in order so they know who's at home, what the end user can do, can't do, and basically what the setup is, and making sure we have that information logged on as well. And basically we set up and make sure that you are, ready to go. And let's see, so this is our information. Again, Juliet covers Virginia, and I, Mary, cover the state of Maryland and also the District of Columbia. And we work collaboratively together as a team, so if we can't assist and get to anyone at one time, we can also work together in making sure that your needs are met with that. So it's information right there. Questions?
I am looking on Facebook right now to see if there are any questions in the comment section. And then if you also are on Zoom and have questions, please use the Q&A feature. And if questions come up later, we will send them directly to you guys. But thank you so much for presenting today on the EyeOn. And thank you everyone for listening in. Next up from PRC, we have Teresa. She has been a practicing speech-language pathologist since 1999. Teresa has served as a school-based speech-language pathologist for over 14 years, and she has had the opportunity to specialize in AAC and assistive technology evaluation. So I'm going to get Teresa on here.
All right, how's everybody doing today? So thanks Reagan, and thanks Ray for coordinating all of this. It's great to be able to do this, even if it was not the way that you guys originally thought. So as Reagan, my name is Teresa, and I'm a speech pathologist with Assistive Technology Works, and I'm the local consultant representing PRC Saltillo in DC and Virginia. And then my coworker Elizabeth Bortz is on Facebook, so she's out in the today, so unfortunately couldn't join us. So what are we talking about today? Tracking in the 20s, what's new in eye tracking technology at PRC Saltillo. Now, not to be confused with the year 2020, which is something we all want to forget. All right. So the accent devices through PRC Saltillo come in two sizes capable of eye tracking. One is the Accent 1400, which is a 14-inch screen, and then the Accent 1000 would be a 10-inch screen. Again, both of these are capable of eye tracking. So why would someone pick one over the other? As we know, ALS is a progressive condition, and sometimes speech is what's affected first. However, all the walking skills, hand skills are still fine. So sometimes an individual might pick the 10-inch screen because it's more portable as they're going about their day. So, but both have the option of shipping initially as the tablet only and adding on the eye tracker later on as needs might change. Okay. So what we're gonna focus on today is the Accent 1400 with Look. The Accent 1400 is the newest Accent product. It is fully integrated with the eye tracker, so it's sleeker and more durable. Comes with a high resolution display that's brighter and looks better under a variety of lighting conditions. Awesome battery life, up to 12 hours, so you can have all day use. Capable of connecting to your Wi-Fi, so you can do your email and your internet. And it's built on a full functioning Windows computer. So all the things that you're used to doing in Windows, you can do with your device. And as we know, ALS is progressive, so it does allow for all access methods, beginning with touch, all the way up to switch scanning, head tracking, and eye tracking. The Look module, which is that piece that you see at the bottom of the tablet itself, that has a large track box, so you have a wide freedom of movement, and it can accommodate a variety of positions, whether you're sitting in your recliner or you're laying in bed. The Look module will be fine with that. It's also has a very eye gaze recovery. So when you look away and look back at the device, It's very fast to pick up your eyes. As we all know, there's a lot of variability in eyes and diagnoses, so there's lots of adjustments built in for precise and accurate control of your device. We have a full range of calibration points from 0 point up to 9 points of calibration. You can use one eye or both eyes depending on your needs. And there's tons of settings built in for visual feedback, cursor speed, cursor sensitivity, dwell time. And you can even change how you select buttons within the device. That can be by dwelling on the button, it can be by blinking, or even with a switch. And all of this works with glasses, okay? So you're able to communicate and interact with your world. So there's several different vocabulary options that are available on an Accent device. And again, it depends on user preferences, what the different needs are. Word power is one option, which combines high frequency words, spelling, and word prediction. Unit might be an option for someone who needs more picture support because of language or literacy needs. And lastly, Essence, which is optimized for eye and head tracking, combines spelling, word prediction, and quick messages to allow you to communicate with others. So there's all kinds of things that you can do within the device to be able to interact with your world. It's not just about communication, as we know. You're able, with our AeroText app, to be able to text with others with your device. That's all built in. So you connect your device you connect your phone to your device via Bluetooth. You're able to control your TV with your device. So your device actually becomes your TV remote. You can control Alexa, and you can also obviously search the internet, use Facebook, check your email, all with your device. So we're going to focus on Essence, and we have two options for Essence. One is in our new voice software, and the other is within our Empower software. So what we're going to do is take a little tour of both of those so you guys can actually see how they work. So let me get this ready to go here so it actually looks like a device. Okay. So this is what the new voice software would look like if you were choosing Essence as your vocabulary. So on the left here, you have tabs for the different functions that you could do with the Essence software, from communication all the way down to settings modifications. So communication, you have a link to a keyboard. And this is just one particular layout. You can change how many buttons are on a screen. You can have a grid of 36 buttons, 60, 84, or 144. So the more buttons on a screen, the smaller the buttons are. So again, that depends on a user's visual needs, their preferences, etc. So those are things that you would try out during an evaluation to see what size worked best for you. So word prediction is built in. So I can start typing and use word prediction to make me faster. And I also have links to quick messages. And these are things that are what I might frequently say, but I don't want to type them out all the time. So we have some that are built in, as well as empty pages so that you could customize your own. So how would you make your own? All I have to do is type in my message as if I was going to speak it. And then I go to my quick messages. I decide where I want to put my message. And then I easily hit this pencil and put my message on a button. So now when I'm in a crisis mode and need coffee, I don't have to type it out. All I have to do is go to my quick messages and press the button. And hopefully somebody quickly gets coffee to help me get my day going. So that's the communication piece of things. And again, here's a link to your phone where you could make calls with your device. You also have a link to internal computer where you can control the Windows tablet running on the device. So basically what you have, let's see, close out some of these things here. So what you will have is on the desktop here, you will have a dock that comes up at the bottom, which will be parked on your screen, and the dock buttons are the size that match the layout that you chose for your Essence. And on here, I have quick links to the things that I use most often. I have a button that would give me direct access to Facebook, and then it has things at the bottom already programmed in that correspond to the things that you might on Facebook, and they're bigger, so they're a little bit easier to target than having to target, for example, the small scroll bar on Facebook. Okay. In my browser, I also have links to my favorite websites, and these are all customized. I don't want to type out YouTube all the time, or maybe I have a favorite YouTube channel, favorite artist I like to listen to. I can program that on my button, on my dock, on my Windows platform. External computer. So if you have a computer you love, whether it be Windows or Mac, you are able to use your device to control that computer. So you don't have to give up that favorite computer that you love, especially for individuals who have an external computer that's really souped up. They don't want to give that up, and that's okay. You can use your Accent device to control that computer. Remote controls. We all know individuals often have more than one TV in their house. So you have a link to multiple TVs that you could program into your device when you may have difficulty accessing the regular remote for your TV. And these screens are customizable. So if you have favorite channels, we can program them in so that you don't have to type out 247 every single time you want to go to the history channel. You just press your button for the history channel and it will automatically go to that channel for you. So it's a way to make things more efficient and easier. And then lastly, under the remotes, the only other thing I want to point out here is our built-in Alexa pages. And these are also customizable. And I'm glad I closed the door to my office here so she doesn't pick up what I'm saying, just a presentation. But anything that you're doing, you can program in on here as well. So for example, if you're reading War and Peace via Kindle, you can program a button on here that says, you know, Miss Amazon, read me War and Peace. So you can use your device to control Alexa. And lastly, settings. Within the Accent device, in essence, you're able to control your own settings. So if you wanted to change your dwell time or you wanted to recalibrate yourself, you're able to do all of that on your own. You're not reliant on somebody else to come and do it for you. So that's the new voice version of Essence. And now let's take a look at the new version, which is Empower. So it looks very similar. So this is the 60 grid version of Empower or Essence. We were looking at the 84 on the new voice side, but the Empower side, this is what 60 would look like. And it also comes in 84. So just like on the other one that we saw, we have our keyboard, and right here in yellow would be our word prediction. And then we have a couple emergency buttons already programmed in on our keyboard page to allow us quick access as needed. And just like on the other one that we saw, we have quick messages already built in. And these have lots of blank spaces so that you could customize as needed. So if we wanted to do one really quickly, and I'm going to stick with my theme here. And then all I have to do is go to, oops, let me get to where I want to put it first. Let me go to my message button here, and then I'm going to drop it where I want it to go, and it tells me I successfully saved it. So now I can go to my quick messages here, and there's my emergency button. I need more coffee. Okay. So that's just kind of a quick tour of what Essence looks like here. And one of the biggest questions we often get is, well, what's my voice going to sound like? So there's a number of voices that come pre-installed on the device. So we have a couple of synthesizer options, Ivona, Nuance, and Acapella. And the devices are also compatible with a number of the voice banking companies such as Acapella, My Own Voice, Model Talker, The Voice Keeper, and Vocal ID. You can also import your own recordings. So if you've been working on that, those can be added to your device. And be sure to stay tuned because coming soon, PRC Saltillo message banking is right around the corner. And then lastly, your support. So support is typically through your local consultant. Me and Jessica McFadden represent Virginia, and then I also cover DC and West Virginia. And my colleague Elizabeth Bortz is for Maryland. And in addition, we also have tech support, which is online or via the phone. So, and those are available in addition to all of our web supports, which include trainings and webinars that are on our website. And we, as far as like support during COVID times, everything's on a case-by-case basis, and of course, following local procedures that may be in place where you live. But we are providing a variety of in-person and virtual support depending on area regulations as well as individual comfort level. So, all right, so are there any questions about anything?
I am on Facebook and I do not see any just yet, but just a reminder, if you do have questions for Teresa, please put them on the comment section on Facebook Live or the Q&A section on Zoom. We'll just give it a minute real fast. But thank you so much, Teresa, for this awesome presentation on accent and essence. I see one question. Can it use Google Home as well as Alexa?
Yes, you could program Google Home as well because it's the same concept. You would just change it wouldn't be Alexa, it would be whatever your call is for your Google Home.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I don't see anything else yet. Let me just check on Zoom. I don't see anything, but if any other questions come up, we will direct them your way. So thank you again, Teresa, for the awesome presentation.
Coordinating.
Yeah. Up next, we have Talk to Me Technologies, Danielle Ranieri. Danielle is a graduate of the University of Maryland, College Park, where she obtained her master's degree in speech-language pathology. Danielle began working with Talk to Me Technologies in March of 2020. Prior to joining the Talk to Me Technologies team, Danielle served as an assistive technology specialist with the ALS Association, DC, Maryland, Virginia chapter, where she primarily worked with adults with ALS to support their communication needs throughout all stages of the disease process. In her current position, Danielle helps to assess technology and access methods for clients' needs during evaluations for augmentative and alternative communication. In addition, Danielle plays an active role in supporting and training families, caregivers, and other related professionals on AAC implementation and use. Danielle has dedicated her studies and career to serving children and adults who may benefit from AAC. And it looks like she already shared her screen, so Danielle, go ahead and get started for us.
Hi, everyone. I'm trying to share my video, but I don't think I can, but that's okay. I will go ahead and start my presentation. All right. So like Reagan said, my name is Danielle. I can't really see who's on here right now, but if there are any familiar faces, it's nice to see you guys again. And for anyone else, I'm just really happy to be here and to just share a little bit about what I do here with Talk to Me Technologies. Okay. So as Sarah mentioned this morning, and all the representatives have before me, trying devices from a variety of different companies is really so crucial when you're making this decision to get a communication device. I'm going to spend the next several minutes just going over what we offer here at TTMT. So Talk to Me has been helping adults and children for several years now. We're based right here in the U.S., so we're pretty easy to connect with whenever you need us. I just wanted to, the host has asked me to start my video. I can leave it off. I don't know if that'll affect my screen, but that's okay. So here's just a quick view of our iSpeak cameras, which I'm going to highlight today. I'm going to pop right into my first view. So this is these are our Zuvo devices. So we do have two screen size options. We have a 12-inch there on the left-hand side and an 18-inch on the right. I'd say the 12-inch is a bit more popular because it's more portable. It's lighter, it's smaller. However, we do get an occasional group of people who do like the larger screen if they're working from home full-time or if they're gamers and they want to have that big screen when they're accessing their device. Also, just to quickly show you kind of what it would look like if you added some access methods on. So on the previous slide that I had on there, you could use our device without eye tracking, without head tracking, and you can directly access it. Some patients with ALS never develop difficulty with hand and arm function. Some patients might not early on, but then they develop those difficulties later on. So if you're not experiencing difficulty touching a device screen, you can start out with our standard Zuvo devices that look like this, but they can come equipped with switch scanning or head tracking, which are just additional ways to access the screen. If you were to try this out, if you weren't quite ready for eye gaze, we could tell you ahead of time before you get this if your particular insurance might be able to cover this access method, and then later on if you're feeling like you want to try out iSpeak or need it, if they'll also cover the iSpeak camera. So this is our iSpeak camera, which is really what I'll be highlighting today. I want to point out that we do have two different eye tracking cameras. This is super important because if you're in an evaluation and maybe one camera just doesn't feel like the perfect fit for you, you do have two options to try. Anecdotally speaking, both of these have worked well for me. I found that our original iSpeak has been able to track my eyes better in areas with more lighting. I've used it under a tree in the shade outside and it's worked. But our iSpeak Ally alternatively has been really great at tracking my eyes better when I have more movement. So if I'm moving around and not sitting completely still. So this is really just to say that it's nice to have multiple camera options when you're looking for a device. This is just to give you an idea of what's actually happening when you're using the iSpeak device. So you're not looking at the camera, you're looking where on the screen you want to look and select. And then down there at the bottom, the camera is picking up on your eye movements. So this one right here is our newest iSpeak Ally camera. So as you can see, it's really integrated. There's a carrying handle, there's no hanging cords. The case is slim and you can really get it personalized to each communicator. There is an environmental control unit on the back, and this I can touch on a little bit later. We also have a Bluetooth speaker there for added volume. And then there's a little mount plate on there that you can use with a variety of mounting options. However, if you're on the go and you don't have the ability to transport a large mount, we do have our built-in flex stand right there. And that allows you to prop it up anywhere you need on a flat surface without needing an extra mount. Here's me with my Bluetooth speaker. So our Bluetooth speaker that you saw on this slide can attach right there on the back of the device, but you do have the option to take it off, so it will be connected through magnets. You can wear it on a lanyard and put it around you so that the voice comes from you and not just from the device. You also can give it to a loved one who might be in another room in the house and needs to hear you from wherever you are if you need something. And then I mentioned earlier our personalization options. So all of our devices do come with the option to choose a skin of your choice that just really reflects your personality. These are some of the skin options. Of course, some of these are definitely for children, although you could certainly have happy insects and happy penguins on your device, but you can pick a color or any other print that you like. And here are some of those mounting options I mentioned earlier when I talked about the mount plate. So the three that you see starting from the right-hand side are a floor mount, a wheelchair mount, and a table mount. So pretty much all the devices you're looking at today have the option to be positioned on a mount like this so that you really can use the device in any setting that you need. On the left-hand side, I just want to highlight our built-in flex stand. So like I said earlier, it can be propped up on a flat surface anywhere you are. Another nice feature is that because it's flexible, if you're sitting at a certain angle and the eye tracker is not picking up your eyes, it's really easy just to bend the stand and get it in the exact right position that you need it at. And then right here is just about charging. So a couple consultants already mentioned this earlier, but it's really important to take a look at what your device's battery life is. At Talk to Me, we do offer some backup options. So if you're trying to eliminate like any power related downtime and just to make sure that your device is always available when you need to communicate, it's important to consider the backup charging. So with our iSpeak 12 cameras, we offer our dual power banks. And with our iSpeak 18, we also offer an extender, and those come with the device. The design's lightweight and portable, so you really have the option to bring it wherever you're going. You can just throw it in a purse or a backpack, or if you're working and you're home, you might leave one in each location. So it's nice to just have that additional charge. And then the most important part is, what am I doing with this device? So as everyone mentioned already, your device is there so you can communicate your basic wants and needs. Beyond that, you want to be able to participate in a conversation. So you want to be able to share what you're thinking, your ideas, and your opinion. So this one that you see right here is one of our most popular text-based vocab sets. So there's a keyboard, there's lots of cool features, but along the middle, you'll see word prediction and phrase prediction. We do also have intelligent word prediction. So basically what that means is the more you use the device, the more it gets to know you. So if every morning you're saying, grab me a chai latte, every morning when you start to say grab, it'll eventually remember some of the things that you've said. And there is also chat history. So again, just remembering things that you say often, you can pop open chat history and see those. I do want to just share a couple of the cool tips that are my favorite on here. So with Save My Place and Retrieve, if you're in the middle of one conversation and you're typing out a message and it's taken you some time, and then another friend walks in and they have something else to ask you that's more important. Instead of having to erase everything you've said, you can just save my place, and then when you're ready to get that conversation going again, you can retrieve it. Cool tip number 2. So I mentioned intelligent word prediction and chat history. So these are wonderful things, but of course, if you're in a doctor's appointment, or maybe you're on the phone with the bank and you don't want your device to remember your social security, you can quickly go into private mode and it'll stop remembering until you turn private mode off. And then cool tip number 3 is the sleep mode. So if you are in bed and you want to have your device available while you're sleeping at night, just in case you wake up in the middle of the night and really need something, you can go ahead and put your device to sleep. So you're not powering it off, but you're powering down the screen. And then if you wake up and you need something like a blanket or just a glass of water, you can look at the middle of your black screen and it'll turn it right back on for you. And similar to what several of the other companies have shared already is the option to have those quick categories and phrases. It's wonderful to have a keyboard, but of course, typing out every single thing you want to say is really time consuming and effortful. So we set it up already with several categories with phrases that you might say often inside of them. For example, if you're having a conversation, we've set up a conversational category. Some of the phrases in there are, please be patient while I compose my message. I have trouble with my speech, so I use this computer to talk. And all of these can be customized. So if there's things that you want in there, we can either erase what we already have, or there's a more button down there and you can have as many pages as you'd like. If you're expressing your medical needs and concerns, there's a quick page that you can go to for that. So you can ask someone to reposition you, or you can pull up the pain scale and tell them how bad your pain is, where your pain is, what kind of pain you have, if you need medication, things like that. This next one I'm going to show you is just what it looks like to actually use your device in action, because it's great to explain everything, but just to see what it really looks like once you're running your device. So I'm going to hit play and hopefully my audio comes through.
This is the home screen of one of our vocab sets, and in the top left corner you'll see a little positioning guide, and that's representing my face. So if I close my left eye or my right eye, or if I get too close to the device, I'll get that feedback with a frowning face and the color turns red. And the same thing happens if I'm too far from the device. So if I'm in a good spot, it'll look just like this. When I'm ready to select something on the device, I'm going to look at the button that I want to select for a certain period of time, and that time can be adjusted if you want to. So first I'm going to go into my keyboard, And from here, I'm going to type a phrase. I'm going to start just with the phrase, how are you? And you'll notice as I type that I get word and phrase prediction along the middle.
How are you? How are you?
Next, I'm going to go into my phrases. This is a place where you can save phrases that are specific to you and that you use often. I'm going to go ahead and clear out my speech display bar, and I'm going to tell you what I want to watch on TV.
I want to watch a sappy romance. I want to watch a sappy romance.
And I have one more quick video that I just want to show you because, of course, it's wonderful to have those pre-programmed phrases. But if you're wanting to really customize it to the things that you like and the things you say often, you also have that option. And it's super simple to do that.
A. Milkshake. I am thirsty for a milkshake. I am thirsty for a milkshake.
All right. So we also do offer, I talked a little bit about personalization earlier with the skin and the amplifier, but if you know before you get your device delivered that there are certain things that you're going to want programmed in there, we will send you out a vocabulary page set personalization, and if you can fill out ahead of time some of your favorite things to eat or drink or places to go, your family members, your pets, you can fill it out to look something like this, and our vocabulary team will fill everything out ahead of time for you so that when it arrives to your house, it's already personalized. Beyond the communication you can do with someone who's standing right in front of you, you also can communicate online on your device. So whether that's with a cell phone, through email, or on any of your social medias. This is what the main home screen of our most popular page set looks like. We do have it as black and white as an option if you don't like the color. But if you go into communicating online, no matter whether you have an Android or iPhone, you can hook it up for calling. And with all these pages I'm about to show you, the buttons are large like this so that they can easily accommodate for your eye tracking movements. If the buttons were really small, it'd definitely be a challenge. You can also send text messages with your phone on your device. And you can even send an email directly from your device. If you have some of your favorite social medias, those can be programmed on there. If you don't like Twitter, you don't like Facebook, we can substitute that too. You can have as many choices on there as you want. You can use Facebook on your device. You can watch some YouTube videos. And again, you have all those nice functions along the edge. You can also just access the internet and do whatever you would normally do on the internet. My favorite thing is clearly Amazon shopping, so you can do that straight from your device. And if you don't want to spend all of your time inside that software, you do have the option to use what's called Windows Control. So you essentially pop out of the software and you get those functions on the right-hand side. So you can look at double and then look where on the screen you want to double click, and you can use it like that. So if you're wanting to use Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, you do have those options too. Next, I just wanted to touch on controlling your environment. So I talked a little bit about our environmental control unit that you see right there on the back. That's our Zubo control. So if you want to control things in your environment like your TV or your fan or your lights, you do have that option. This is what a TV remote control would look like on your device. If you're using some other smart home devices like a fan or lights, it'll look like this. You can even get really fancy and get a smart heater or a smart coffee pot. And voice and messaging, I don't want to spend too much time on because I know we heard a lot about that yesterday. But I do just want to touch on it to let you know that it can be integrated onto your Talk to Me device. So if you've already banked, we'll help you integrate your voice or your messages onto your device. And if you haven't banked yet, we can certainly help with that as well. One other thing I just wanted to put on here is one of our page sets that allows you to message Bing directly on your device. So if you already have a device and you got it because maybe your speech is tougher in the afternoons and evenings, but easier in the morning, you can always bank right onto your device in the morning when your voice is the strongest. That's a nice little feature. And I've been showing you quite a few pages of our text-based vocab set. But if you're wanting to keep it simple, we do have several other page sets that have symbol support. So if you're strictly looking to use your device for communication and you don't want all those bells and whistles, we have several options for that. If you're experiencing any symptoms of FTD, if your loved one is, you can always look for something that's not a fully text-based system that could be challenging. So we have some that look like this or this. Can help with sentence building, just some smaller or larger buttons with less on the screen, or you can increase them. And if you have any other visual impairments, we do offer high contrast vocab sets. And finally, I just wanted to let you know that we are here to help. Like all of the companies before me, we all offer support and services. We're never going to give you a device and leave you stranded. Here at Talk to Me, we call our support and services TTMT 360 because we really want to help from the very beginning all the way through. With our funding team, we have a huge funding team that can support you up front just to determine what insurance coverage would look like. We never want you to be surprised. With consultation and evaluation, I can be available to help with your speech therapist or even just to help you guys decide on maybe a good camera option or a vocabulary set option. And then we do offer trials that are completely free. So if your SLP wants to trial our device before she or he trials it with you, we can send it to the SLP for free. Or if you're interested, but you're not quite sure that it's the right fit, you can also trial it for free. I mentioned our personalization already with our skin choices, vocab customization, and then our training and support. So we do offer an initial setup in person if you're comfortable with it. And if not, we are available remotely, especially during these times. We can remote right onto your device, so we can pretty much take control of your screen and help you figure things out from our side. But we definitely can offer in-person support as well. With all of these devices, we never would expect to put an eye gaze device in front of someone and say, yep, you're going to be a communicator. And that's the same way if you put a piano in front of someone, they're not a musician. So we know that the support's needed and we're here for it. We do also have an extensive warranty that's 3 years and covers 4 major breaks, whether it's a screen crack or your device gets tossed in the pool. It's very durable. You shouldn't have to worry about this, but if you ever do need a repair, we also do offer free service loans for the time that your device is in for repair, so you're not left without anything. And then I just wanted to touch on our PALS program. So on top of the support that we already provide, we understand that with the diagnosis of ALS, the importance of continuity of care, and that's why we have our PALS program. So our customer care team will provide monthly consultations, training, and support to each person with ALS and their entire team. So even if you're not reaching out to us for help, we'll be reaching out to you, unless you tell us not to. And then just wanted to throw out some of our free resources. These are available on our website. We have basic communication boards. We have AAC scripts just to kind of help you get started with learning how to use your device. If you want hard copies of these, you can certainly reach out to me and we can send those out to you. And then finally, I just want to leave you guys with a quote that I really love. It says, "The silence of speechlessness is never golden. We all need to communicate and connect with each other, not just in one way, but in as many ways as possible. It is a basic human need, a basic human right, and more than this, it is a basic human power." So that's just to say, if you or if your loved one is having trouble communicating, do not hesitate to look into a device like this. Reach out to a local representative from any of the companies you've heard from today, so you have several different options to try from, and just get that set up so that they have that ability to do something that is so important to so many of us. If you guys have any questions, if there aren't any on Facebook or in the chat, you can always reach out to me. I have my email and phone number up here. That is my cell phone, so you can also call or text me if that's easier. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much, Danielle, for that great presentation. And again, if you guys have any questions for her, please use the comment section on Facebook or the Q&A section on Zoom. I'll just give it a couple seconds and see if any questions come in.
Hey, Reagan, is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. So.
No, it's fine. Danielle, I don't see any questions for you, but if any come up, I will send them your way.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, everyone. It was great seeing you guys. If you have questions, again, just feel free to call or email. Let me pop out and figure out how to do that. Stop share.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about that. I was kicked out and then just rejoined, so yeah.
You're good. You're good. All right, everyone. So from Tobii Dynavox, we have Alex Kurth here. He is your local AAC consultant for the DMV and Richmond area. He's an occupational therapist and assistive technology professional who has previously worked in public schools in Virginia with the DC, Maryland, Virginia chapter of the ALS Association and New Motion, a seating and mobility company. He specializes in the area of assistive technology for pediatrics and adults, and he's excited to assist you today with AAC. So go ahead, and Alex, if you want to share your screen.
Absolutely, yeah. So I will be back on video for sure. Here we go. You guys see the PowerPoint?
Yes, you are good.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I wanted to thank you guys for organizing this. This is a great use of Zoom and providing some education. And I want to thank everyone else for contributing before me. My name is Alex. I'm your local solutions consultant with Tobii Dynavox. With my name Alex, I'm usually first, so it's nice to be last. But let's go ahead and round it out. So here's my agenda today. Just wanted to touch briefly on who's Tobii Dynavox. It is a long name. We're going to also go over our hardware, our i13 or i16. Look at some other options like our EM12 and our iMobile Plus. And then we're going to jump right into software and just talk about those types of supports that are available. So real briefly, it's a busy slide, but I'll just touch on the basics. So Dynavox essentially started in the early 90s developing communication devices. They acquired Mayer Johnson in 2004. That's the individuals who make the symbols. And then Tobii is a company based out of Sweden. They've been around since the early 2000s, specializing in eye gaze technology. So we merged in 2014, and it's been a really nice merger so far. In those pictures, that 2100 Wharton Street, that's our office. We have the fourth floor of that building. And then that's our North American sales staff in the lower right-hand corner. So just briefly, Tobii itself is a big company. Tobii Dynavox itself is the major part of it, but we also have Tobii Pro and Tobii Tech. So our company is really dedicated to developing eye gaze technologies for not only people with disabilities, but also for other areas. For example, for Tobii Pro, the woman there is wearing a pair of Tobii Pro glasses. And it's essentially tracking what she's looking at and where she's looking at all times. And then that little Tobii Tech is really how can you integrate the eye gaze technologies into other types of devices and supports. So, and you know, ALS is what we're talking about today, but we also work with other areas, other disability areas as well. Yeah. All right, so these are our funded solution options. We're going to go over funded and non-funded today. And we have our tablet devices. I'm not going to focus too much on those, but we do have portable devices available for communication. But the main focus today was going to be on our eye gaze enabled devices, and then also our EM12, which is a portable communication device that could also eventually accept eye gaze to be used. Yeah. So our i13 and our i16, the numbers denote the size of the screen, and they are our, our flagship iSeries or eye gaze enabled devices. You see Jeff there. And so with our prior iSeries and our new iSeries, these came out last October. So we've always had really good durability, but it just continues to improve. So we have a solid state hard drive, Gorilla Glass built into it, dust and water resistance, so if anything spills on it, you just wipe it right off. For weight, the i13 is about 5 pounds, or excuse me, 5 pounds, and the i16 is 6.3 pounds. So with the major upgrade, we've added some new features which are really, really nice. So adaptive buttons. So on the device, on the front, in the lower left-hand corner, you'll have 2 buttons that are programmable. They're programmable for touch and also for eye use, which is really nice. So the caregiver could have it set up to pause or track eye track status to see where you're positioned. And then on the right side, which you don't see in this picture, but you do have volume buttons that are also eye gaze accessible. And if those buttons are distracting, we can always turn those off. But that's a new feature for our iSeries. We also have the partner window, which is really, really nice. So on the back of the device, and I'll show this a little later, or we may see it in a future picture, but whatever you type, it'll display it on the back. So in certain noisy environments, or when things are moving and shaking throughout the room and you miss what the person said, you can always look on the back. And those features can be turned off too if discretion is needed. So, and we've also improved our speakers, very loud, robust. We also have an IR blaster with 6 diodes. So we are to enable individuals to use this to also control their TV. All right, so and the next big thing with our iSeries, it's utilizing our latest IS5 camera. It's more robust, it provides great precision and accuracy. We've always, not always, we've maybe the past 3 generations have started accepting dark and bright pupil tracking. But one of the biggest upgrades, upgrades to the eye tracking now is with the outdoor access. You can actually use your communication device with eye gaze outside. All right, so that is our iSeries. I'm going to jump into some software a little bit later, but I wanted to touch on our EM12. So our EM12 would include a Microsoft Surface Pro with a durable case. And that's insurance approved, so insurance would cover that. And one of the reasons why we developed this is because we felt that there should be some type of transitional unit for individuals. ALS is such a tough disease with progression, and where it starts and where it may end in the sense of hand use. So if the individual has good hand use, they can use the tablet features, learn their software, start communicating with it, and then we can attach the iMobile Plus to the bottom of it, or the back of it, excuse me. The eye tracker is located on the bottom. So there are some differences when you compare the iSeries with the EM12 with the iMobile Plus. Durability is probably one factor. And it's also utilizing our last version camera, the IS4 eye tracker. It is a robust device. You see these sometimes in pictures with people using them. It is a nice device, but you have to really tease out whether or not you're going to need those durability features. Maybe outdoor use is going to be more of a thing that you want, and that may be the reason why you may want to move over to the iSeries. Now we also have the PCI Mini, and that will allow you to give you full computer control to a Windows computer. It's pretty small, and it's so this would be considered a non-insured or non-funded item. But some individuals will get this and then have their communication software on a laptop as a backup. And also, it's a good way to start using, eye tracking and getting used to it. So that will accommodate up to, I believe it's a 22-inch monitor. The PCI Plus will accommodate up to a 28-inch monitor. Both those cameras are utilizing our IS4 tracker. The nice thing about the PCI Plus, it does have a speaker microphone array in there. and also a switch port. So that would offer individuals access in addition to their eye gaze. And the PCI Plus comes with this IR, which is a pretty neat universal IR dongle that would allow you to, control your TV, and also comes with software to help you do that. So, all right. I didn't put my timer on, but we'll just keep going. Sorry. So when it comes to devices from Tobii Dynavox, you will be provided with 2 software options, and you can use both if you wanted to. So I'm going to go over both with you today. Both are really the ones that I'm going to show you are geared towards our population who are literate. So, but we also have symbol-based communication software to be able to help those who may have some cognitive issues. But so this is our Speaking with Phrases page with our communicator. So Communicator 5 gives you lots of options to essentially access various phrases. You can access your email. I'm going to show some hospital pages that we have that are pretty popular, just quick ways in which you can tell somebody what you may want or need in certain areas. Yeah, and Communicator is one of our most robust programs we've had, and we've had it for some time now. It's Communicator 5. So, but this is my home page. Gives you an example. So the I am buttons, or the light blue buttons, are quick hits for comfort, or and I'm going to demonstrate those in a little bit. So yeah, here we go. So I am would lead you to that page, and then on the right, we also have a body scheme, so you can actually pinpoint and let us know what's going on if you're itching or hurting. And that's a nice piece of that hospital page set. Most recently, we've released our join in pages, which is really nice. We know that communication face-to-face is really important, sharing with loved ones, commenting, like for me on a sports game, any of those things are really important, but we know the communication socially and being involved with the web is also important. So these have just come out, and they're really, really nice. And I'm going to demonstrate those in a second. So Communicator 5 is one software product that's available. We also have Snap Core First, which is it's our latest program. Came out about 3 years ago, and we keep developing it. So our most recent development, maybe about a year ago, is our text page set. And it's really, really a quick way for you to be able to communicate. We also have Google Alexa and Siri pages, which I'm going to show in a minute, that are really, really nice. So let me just take a break here. I am still sharing. That's good. I'm going to pull up Communicator first. So very similar to what you've seen previously, we all have our keyboards in which you can type and have word prediction. This is an example of ours here. This is set up to a QWERTY, but we could change it to an alphabetical orientation. We also have Speak with Phrases. These are just pre-built phrases that you can also adapt or edit or make your own fairly quickly. And then we also have My Phrases is another way to organize that phrases button. But yeah, this is the light blue buttons I just wanted to show briefly. I am sick.
I am sick.
Or I'm hurting.
I'm hurting.
Maybe it's my leg.
Left leg.
It's my hip. Yeah. So you'll notice that these buttons, these light blue buttons, are very common. On the bottom, it'll say thank you, yes, not sure, no. You can always write your response and then go back if you needed to. But these are really helpful, just try to figure out what's going on. So, and like I mentioned before, they're based on different categories, like pain, or excuse me, emotions. I've been asked to start my video. Okay. I'm going to assume I'm still on. All right. Sorry, guys. So respiratory needs.
Please suction my mouth.
please contact. Always important. And then here are the apps that I mentioned earlier. So we have accessible Spotify, Facebook, YouTube. I think that's about it for those that I put on today, but we can show you YouTube real quick. So how it's configured is on the left side, you'll have your controls. And on the right side, you'll have your content. So, yeah. So you can do searches, you can do Facebook messages. Yeah, and then you would just select the videos that would pop up on the right. So.
Sorry, Alex, did you open Communicator inside your computer?
I did. You're not seeing it?
No, we're not seeing it.
What haven't you not seen?
I think when you started to show the pages that you were showing the sound.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Let me see. I think this happened before. Sorry, guys. Can you see it now?
So we see your PowerPoint, so you might just need to minimize the PowerPoint if you're using the same computer.
It's not in full screen mode though. Let me
okay.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry guys. Let me do a new share. Can you see it now?
Yes. Sorry about that.
Okay. Oh, it's all right. Yeah. So real briefly, I know I talked about it, but you guys weren't able to see it, but is there. Itching and hurting. Yeah, you can let us know what's going on. And then I was demonstrating the YouTube one where you can actually pull up YouTube and select your video. There you go. Pause it. So that's how it's displayed. Everything's going to be on the left side for your controls, and on the right side would be your content. And that would apply to WhatsApp, Netflix, MSN. Yeah. So I did mention before that you're able to use both Communicator and Snap, together or separately. I've created a button here on my home page, and this is considered your home page for C5. You do have, if you wanted to edit it, for instance, if you wanted to add pages or remove pages, these are all eye gaze accessible, so you'd be able to remove or add things if you wanted to. For our join-in pages, you'd have to go to add-on products, and let's say you wanted to go ahead and set up WhatsApp. You can put that on there as well. So I did want to change one thing because sometimes people like to change the grid size. So you can go here, you can make it bigger if you wanted to. Yeah. I always like to have my exit on the right. All right, there we go. So, but I mentioned before that, so you cater 5, which is the program we're looking at now. And then you also get Snap. So are you guys seeing Snap, Ray?
It did not open. You're still on Communicator.
Okay, yeah, that's all right. Here we go. Yeah, so I created a button in Communicator 5 that will allow you to go to Snap. And this is our Snap Core First page. It always starts with quick fires. It gives you the ability to type a message fairly quickly. Hey guys. And then you can always copy this and place it where you want. So if it's something you say often, hit copy button. I'm going to put it right here. So it gives you that flexibility to add messages really quickly. We also have things based on different categories. Some of these are already pre-populated, but you could also modify these or change them. And it's always with this copy button. That's right there. We can also actually change some things around if you wanted the copy button always available. So we can pop it right on the top too. Maybe just get rid of that share button for now. Yeah, so it's always there. So your keyboard is here. The last user I tried this with, we just increase the font size, so that's why it's large. But you can decrease or increase the font size of the keys fairly easily. Notes are just meant for longer messages or instructions for caregivers. And then dashboard's really nice. It allows you to control your volume, lets you know your battery life. We also have these Google Home and Alexa pages, and that will allow you to be able to control those devices with just this device. So, yeah.
Alexa, stop.
And then I created a button here that would allow us to go right back to Communicator. So I did want to touch briefly on message banking. So here we go. Where is it? There we go. Bear with me. We gotta go all the way to the bottom. Yeah. So message banking, if you have already recorded your messages, and we do have some handouts available from Boston's Children's Hospital and some other areas, just standard lists. But the nice thing with our message making option is that you can upload all those files to my Tobii Dynavox. It's a free account. And once those are uploaded, you would organize them by primarily giving them tags. Like for me, it would be coffee and the cask in that picture. And then once you've had them all organized, we can actually download those directly to Communicator 5 or SnapCore first. So that's a really nice feature. It'll develop its own file folder for you to be able to access either phrases that you frequently use, but it would be based on different categories, which is pretty nice. How much time do I have, Ray?
You're good. Whatever you'd like to show.
Okay. Sure. Cool. All right. Oops. No. Here you go. So I wanted to give you guys just a chance to see the devices. I know you saw them on the PowerPoint, but yeah. So here we go. This is our i13. Let me maybe close the shade a little bit. That did not help. There you go. So that's the i13. For perspective, 13 inches going across. It's a widescreen display, anti-glare. This is the 16-inch. It's right here. Oh, yeah. It really isn't that heavy, but it is larger, considerably larger than the 13. So there we go. So that's our 16-inch. And then this is the 13-inch. So, yeah. The adaptive buttons that I mentioned previously, these are durable, by the way, are right here. So this could be your pause or your track status. And then that's your volume. Yeah. It's pretty loud. Let's see.
I am thirsty.
Yeah. And then on the back, you can see there, it'll actually have the partner window on the back. So.
I would like some food, please.
Yeah. And then for our EM12, this is the tablet itself. It's a nice Windows Surface Pro tablet. Speakers are decent. But the nice thing about this, it is portable. You could learn your software, and then the same software you control with your eyes. So there you go. And here's the iMobile Plus bracket, speaker in the back, diodes for IR. That's the mounting bracket there. You just slide it in. It also has a stand. I did fail to mention that, but our devices can work on a tabletop, which is helpful sometimes if you're in a pinch. Yeah. And there you go. So that's the device itself put together. I did mention earlier, you just got to consider durability too. I mean, this one, I don't it's going to drop sometimes. I'd just be more careful with this one. But yeah. All right. That's about it for me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alex. If anybody has questions for him, please feel free to comment on the section box below the Facebook Live event or on the Q&A on Zoom. So we'll just give it a couple seconds here and just see if we have anybody that has any questions for you. I don't see any questions popping up, but if they come through, I will send them your way. But thank you again for that great presentation on the iSeries devices. So just to let everyone know, we will be back on tomorrow for the last day of our Assistive Technology Week. In the morning at 11 a.m., we have a presentation about home modifications and adaptive equipment. And then at 1 p.m., we have the Obi, which is a feeding robot. So please join us tomorrow, same link, same Facebook page. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Ray or myself. And then that's it. All right, thank you everyone for joining.